we're experiencing an ascension. So in essence, I'm going to be an ascension assistant. The twin flame is not just about you holding hands, making out, standing at the end of a pier overlooking a sunset. It is an ascension. It is an activation. It is an action, a call to action, and I'll assist you. Welcome back once again to Spirituality with a Spin. I am Ryan Keys, your host. And I have been away for a bit of time, and it was to rejuvenate myself, to cleanse myself, to get my health back in line, and to literally continue this process that I started 365 days ago of cleansing, purging, and rebuilding everything that makes me who I am. I spent most of my time in silence. Bless you. And as you know, when the only thing that you have to listen to is your inner voice, your inner dialogue, it is intense. It is cleansing. When you see inside of yourself, when you learn that your life is like a movie, right? So imagine that your dialogue and what you're saying is your script. But then, have you ever seen a movie that has no music, that has no soundtrack? It's the soundtrack that makes the delivery of the dialogue dynamic, because the soundtrack sets the tone. So in essence, your soundtrack is your energy. It's your energetic field. It's your dynamic energy, your resonance. And this is setting the tone for what you say, how you say it, what you're speaking, your truth. And your twin flame situation is the Creator calling you and saying, wake up. It's like an alarm clock. Imagine an alarm clock that says, wake up, wake up, wake up, over and over. And you're like, wait, okay, no more snooze. Let me listen to this. Let me get up. Let me start working on it. When you reach out, when you connect, whether it's with other people, with a concept, with some type of spirituality, with your twin flame, soulmate, whatever label you want to put on it, when you connect and you have that catalyst moment, that moment of ignition, you've started a process. It's going to set you in a tailspin for a little bit, because you're going to be chasing your tail, trying to figure out what's going on. What's this new awareness? What's this I'm feeling? Why am I feeling guilty? Why am I feeling lonely? Why am I being empathic? Why am I learning different things? Why am I connected to this person? Why am I seeing these numbers? So you're in a little bit of a tailspin. And that's why people like me or Ralph or Teal or anybody else are here to help assist you with different tools. We all have different techniques. We all have different styles. You're feeling a connection. You're feeling something engaged inside of you. Now, I want to ask you a question. And you can be honest with yourself at home, because nobody's listening. I'm just speaking. This is a one-sided conversation, unfortunately, for the moment. When you're at work and you feel that you're being unrecognized or not appreciated, do you give your best? Or do you limit your best? Do you actually sit back and get excited that you made it through the day and you didn't give it your all? Like, I showed them, I didn't have to do that, man. I only worked 6 hours. I was on Facebook on my phone for 2 hours. Because the moment that you're not giving your best, for whatever reason it is, it's like charging a battery. It's like your cell phone. The moment you undercharge it and you unplug it, you've conditioned that battery not to go beyond that limit as much as it would normally. So you're not going to charge it to 100% anymore. You're only going to charge it to 70%. So you're conditioning yourself to only be 70% of your best, and that's what you're accepting as yourself across the board. See, because you can't be hot and cold at the same time. You're either on or you're off. And if you are off in any part of your life, you're not going to be on the rest. You're going to be 70% on. That's why I went away. That's why I spent time in silence. That's why I'm sitting here telling you everything that I learned, because it's important, because I know you answered yes. You've had those days when you haven't given a shit and you haven't done your best. When you're in a relationship where you're mad, so you bring your work home and you dump it in their lap. Where somebody doesn't give you the proper service and you turn around and you walk out with a bad attitude and you take that to something else. That's not doing your best. And when you want a twin flame relationship or a soulmate relationship, a divine purposed life, a divine love, you have to always do your best. Think about the beginning. If you begin with your best and then it lags over time, that's why you're getting fired. That's why you're failing. That's why you're not finding the things that are going to live up to your expectation. So you have to look at every day that you get out of bed as a new beginning, a beginning to do your best. It doesn't have to be the best of what yesterday was, but the best of what today is, because yesterday doesn't matter. Only today matters. And if you set the tone to do your best today, then it will take care of itself tomorrow. Hence, we lessen the amount of worry and cumbersome stress that is brought up by living in the past, being afraid of tomorrow, and doing a shit job today. Because you can't do your best today if you're trying to be who you were yesterday, because today is completely different. And yes, it's spiritual spanking time. It is. Because we don't have enough time. Time is precious. Every day you waste is a day you no longer have. And I'll guarantee you there are people that are in the ground that would trade everything that they could ever muster for one more day that you've just wasted. And I'm not telling you anything to judge you. I'm not telling you anything to come down on you. I'm telling you what I went through for the past week. All the thoughts that went through my head. Because imagine you want to build a 4-story house, a big, huge house that's full and can house all kinds of people and food and fun. Put that on a slab foundation that's this thick. It's going to fail. You're going to have to build a foundation that's strong and sturdy to hold the weight above. So you can't look towards this twin flame relationship. You can't look towards that perfect life. You can't look towards the relationships that you're going to innovate and activate without working on the inside. You have to experience an internal shift, a shift inside. And I'm sorry, that's how it works out. It has to be an internal shift. There's no other way. There's no other way. You say you want to be with your twin flame. You say you want to be with your soulmate. You say that they came into your life and now your life is shit. I say that doesn't matter. Start working on yourself. The twin lies within. The key to you is inside. I apologize, there's a leaf blower. So we'll wrap this up and then I will bring more of this information out on the coming Thursday. But I wanted to bring this out, and I don't think many people have talked about it. I believe this soulmate or this twin flame or the karmic situation in your relationship is yet another ascension symptom. Nobody's really linked that yet, but it's too dynamic and too intertwined not to be part of an ascension. So I would think that that's yet just an external symptom of the overall awakening that's happening. People are changing. People are waking up. We are beginning to realize that things are different. And if you are having heart palpitations, crazy dreams, if someone has come into your life, be it a karmic relationship or a loving relationship, and they've either made it wonderful or they've wrecked it, or if you're going through a severe loss or something's happening in your life, if you're having migraines, headaches, losing your voice, all of these things are ascension symptoms. My last video talked about that, but I believe this abundance of encounters with the twin flame, soulmate connections are also part of the ascension. We're going to talk about that on Thursday. If you want to go forward, you have to begin to see yourself in a different light. You have to begin to understand that your theme song is playing, whether it is positive or negative. It doesn't matter what you're trying to sell to yourself. If you don't believe it within, it is not going to shift. And the only way you're going to change this dynamic of how you see yourself from the inside out, you have to begin doing mirror work, you have to begin doing meditation, You have to begin becoming of service. Service isn't going to change how you see yourself inside, but it is going to change how people see you, and it's going to remove the alienation of the solitude and the suffering that you've allowed to creep into your life, and it's going to bring that and kind of diminish that blanket of sadness by helping other people. Then that's going to help us to recalibrate everything. One of the other things that I think is very important in this new ascension, in this becoming, even with the twin situation, is the appreciation of your original activation and understanding that your ancestors play a pivotal role in you allowing this ascension to continue on a much more dedicated vibe by at least taking one day a month and dedicating that to the people that have meant something into your life that have passed. Whether it's you sit down, you make them a little snack and a little glass of water, you put it on the table and you say, hey, I invite you back. I know that you've passed, I know that you're on the other side somewhere, or I know that you've been reincarnated, whatever it is, but make them a little bit of an offering and say, I need your wisdom, I need your guidance, you were there for me in this life, I need you again. And invite them to come in and to be able to address the soul. Because your soul is not your body. Your body is a magnification of what the soul is infusing in this reality that we have. So let's use every tool we can to begin to assist you in this ascension. The ascension, once you get a good mind's eye on it, once you get to wrap around your understanding of what it is, then you're going to be able to address this relationship issue happening with your twin or your soulmate or whatever it is you're going through. But these things are important. So for the moment, begin to meditate, begin to get outside, begin to build a foundation, but look at how you see yourself. Look at your theme song, not what you're saying, not what you believe you're saying. If there's part of you that is not true, and you know it, other people don't know it, if there's part of you that's not true, you don't have to go confessing, professing, and telling the world. Begin to tell yourself. Begin to tell yourself. And you can do it with some tapping while you're looking in the mirror, doing mirror work. If you're not comfortable with looking at your reflection and saying, you know, I see you, I appreciate you, I understand that I don't necessarily like you 100%. I don't like this part about you or me, but I'm willing to work on it. I'm willing to work on loving myself. I'm willing to work on loving you. And we need to begin that kind of dialogue, that kind of conversation. Switch it up a little bit. Have more intensity, have more involvement with the internal you. Because this is the key. The twin is within. Once you can find that balance inside, you will begin to be able to handle any situation, even if it's separation. You're enduring separation, but I'll guarantee you, punishing yourself through sadness and suffering is not going to make the separation end, and it's not going to make your situation any better. Believe me. I tell you everything from either tried and true learning, coaching people, or my own experience. I love you. I care about you. I want you to be able to get through this because as the water rises, so will the boat. And we are all in the same boat. If you get better and you can see the light and you help 10 other people, we're on a better world. Like the Buddha say, an enlightened man can change the world because an enlightened man sees the world through enlightened eyes. Peace, light, and love. I will see you on the other side. And sorry for all the noise. Welcome back.